Hi guys, I'm starting a new series, how to take on a few chess.com bots in 2023. Now I'm not going to cover them all, I'm just going to cover the most requested and the ones which I see get a lot of views on my channel. So basically anything under 1,000 I'm not covering, and I'm only covering the ones on the left hand side which everyone has access to. If you've got premium, obviously you have access to all of them. But for non-paying members, you only get the ones on the left-hand side. So they're the ones I'm covering. But no, my comments for the one on the left-hand side will apply. You know, like these are all fairly similar, so the same comments should apply. So I'm just going to take on Emir, through to Nelson and Wally. I think I'm going to end it on Wally. So from 1,000 to 1,800 in this series. So let's get to it, guys. How to beat Emir in 2023. And so a couple of the reasons why I'm doing this is because it's been 2 years since I took him on the first time. It's like 2021. Just getting to a challenge match. And also the algorithms changed over time. We saw that clearly with Nelson, where he went from being insanely strong to wanting to trade queens all the time. And then he went to just only playing the same moves for a little bit, where he'd do the Scholar's Mate. You know, so we've seen the algorithm change. I think it's worth covering these bots again, just a few of them. That was one of my longest intros ever. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. All right. So how to beat Emir. My general comments about the bots is don't try and do anything too ridiculous in the first 7 moves. And that's because these bots are programmed with some opening prep. So if you start trying to mix it up too early, you could run straight into these bots prep. And you don't want to be doing that, because even this 1,000 rated bot, their prep isn't 1,000 rated. The prep is chess book theory. So it's as high as it gets. It's like 2,800 level theory. So you really don't want to be running into that. So I think just play solid moves. In the first few moves. And now we can see Emir clearly out of book, developing and then undeveloping. And sort of following on from that, these bots they're sort of programmed to have a certain level of accuracy. So if they play too many accurate moves, they have to throw in a bad move to make them a 1,000 bot. So therefore, if you play longer games, you give them chance to make mistakes. So yeah, Emir now forcing me to attack his pinned piece, which is probably not the best. So I can take here and damage the structure. I mean, yeah, I should probably just take, shouldn't I? So whether I take with the bishop, because the knight is very strong. If I take with the knight, it opens this bishop up. I just didn't really want to waste the move of moving the bishop back. But let's do this. And this bishop's still quite strong on the light squares. And we're taking towards the centre, which is a general principle which you can follow. Taking towards the centre is like better in like 95% of the cases, I'd say. So this looks a little... I mean, knight covers this square, so I think the king's fine. This just seems... I think it's okay. I'm just weighing up in my head there. So we've got some nice pressure against the backwards pawn on the open line with the rook. Green flag. But then we're also castling into a potential attack here with their rook. But I did see that their queen is going to struggle to mobilise into the attack. They're going to have to move the pawn, and then even then the knight covers these squares. So I didn't see a huge attack. I mean, lodging in on this square seems so natural, guys. When we see a backwards pawn weakness, it's good to like try and not allow them to resolve it. So right now, the best... Well, Emir would love to play this and resolve these doubled pawns and this backwards pawn here. But if we lodge something in on this square... He's gonna... Well, he can't resolve these pawns. So now we could take with a pawn here, undouble our structure. And that might seem like a really good move positionally to undouble the pawns. But actually these 3 pawns here facilitate this move, this pawn break in the centre. This. So we can undouble these whenever we want. So actually when we do this, all we do is block off the rook from having a nice pressure on these weak pawns. So we have check here if we want it. I'm a little bit cautious just to go straight in with check because black's defense here is king in the corner and then rook over. So actually, by doing this, we actually help Emir with his plan of getting the king to safety. So I might just go queen here, or... And then we're pressuring this square. Yeah, see, king over anyway was coming, so I didn't want to force him to play that good move. But now just doubling the rooks on this weak pawn looks nice. And I think he's struggling to defend this pawn. So if takes, we take towards the centre, following that rule as mentioned. And now we've just got a lot of pressure on this square. So yeah. So this is the plan I mentioned, that probably Emir's best idea was to get the king out of danger and then line up here, but it feels too little too late at this point because we're just gobbling pawns and my attack is going to be much, much quicker. This just threatening mate. Oh, I mean, we could take with the bishop as well. Both probably very good, but let's take with the rook. It seems a bit more clinical. And that is checkmate, guys. So that's how you beat Emir. Got a few opening principles and like middle game ideas in there, and I hope you learned something. And good luck out there in 2023 versus these chess.com bots. Next we'll be taking on, I think it's Sven, then Nelson. See you next time, guys. Like and subscribe.